I'll say, as a singer grows older, his conception goes a little deeper because he lives life and he understands what he's trying to say a little more.
But that one teacher who seemed really kind and gave you candy?
And I think this gives, if a singer tries to find out what's happening in life, it gives him a better insight on telling the story of the song he's trying to sing.
LOL, so school sucks. Grow a damn pair of balls.
Right, Sam, I'll tell you what I could do. I'd like for you to pick one of your tunes, one of your favorite tunes out, and you recite the first line.
Like those 90s commercials where the adults look like bad guys.
Look at all these Hummers. What kind of jerk would drive one of those?
Dude, this car kicks ass, and I can watch
Nostalgia Critic
while I'm driving.
And my guess is that, that maybe there's something, slow about him or something like that. So, I mean, I shouldn't be that mean, but at the same time, it's just like, Lord. Equals not fucking funny! You did fucking Space Jam! Shut up! An hour and a half too long! Nerd! Out of my hairy ass! And even that he's slowly trying to destroy. Which is more than I can say for this pig shit. And a Happy New Year! That other fucking show! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! You're an idiot! You're a bitch! You're annoying! And you're funny!
Hello, I'm Dr. X Henry, and I hurt myself. I mean, Doug Walker is the greatest, most funny, talented YouTuber of all time. So let's go through 500 fucking Nostalgia Critic videos and count down the top 11 funniest Nostalgia Critic moments. For 11. The Ernest Saves Christmas review.
What's up, my niggas?
Now, Doug Walker, what do you think when you hear the words Doug Walker? Well, you're probably fucking shitting your pants. Not because you're laughing with him, because he's the funniest YouTuber, but rather, you're laughing at him. Despite once being a highly respected figure that undeniably changed the internet, arguably for the better, or arguably for the worse, but nowadays, his reputation is in the complete fucking doo-doo pile.
That is one big pile of shit.
In fact, I actually shit on him all the time, unironically, in real life. I'm not even joking. Did I say shitting? I meant praising, which is my holy duty as a member of the Dougist Church. Now, the religion of Dougism is a cult. I mean religion which teaches the morals and the thoughtful statements about the medium of film, because I think his videos consist of everything that I want from a YouTuber. But all this shitting, I mean praising, got me thinking now, most of his negative reception he's received has been from his other projects, outside of his magnum opus, The Nostalgia Critic. And there's like 1,000 fucking videos shitting on this guy already, but most of the actual videos complaining about what he's made don't focus on the actual Nostalgia Critic, the series. People mainly talk about his other works, which are more infamous for low quality, given that not even fans of the Nostalgia Critic like them. But his other projects, such as Demo Reel, his epic movie trilogy, Pop Quiz Hotshot, etc., mainly things outside of his main series, with the exceptions of his clipless reviews and the wall review, which might as well just not even, be Nostalgia Critic reviews. Most people do not talk about the main series of his videos, but I guess we have to bring up the question. Did he just make a couple whoopsie-daisies outside of his main projects, and his non-main projects are the ones that get shit on? So is Nostalgia Critic worth the hate? Well, let's find out. So, this is The Nostalgia Critic. Okay, so this is the inevitable part of the video where I explain my personal connection to the content creator, like always. Now, I discovered Channel Awesome through the connections of a fictional rivalry, mainly the videos of him and AVGN beating the shit out of each other.
What are you, raising a barn? Shut the fucking door!
And that ongoing fictional rivalry is kind of irrelevant now. Like, Doug and James still have connections, but still, we used to be a country, a proper country. I thought it was incredibly amusing that fictional characters from different channels were actually crossing over and interacting with each other. You know, it's much cooler than, two commentators recording their opinions and being spliced together via Premiere. But Nostalgia Critic, I always viewed as far inferior to AVGN, even though I still liked both at a point. But the people that do like parts of Nostalgia Critic consider the Golden Age, if you could call it a Golden Age, to be from 2007 to 2011. And I'm just saying that off of observation, but like I kind of heard he's like fallen off since like 2012 or so. And as of the time of this video being written, probably not released, that was like 14 years ago. So let's just round that to like 15, and 15 divided by 5 is 3. I guess we could break down Nostalgia Critic into kind of like 3 eras. I guess I would call myself a former self-proclaimed second-generation Nostalgia Critic fan. I wasn't around for the beginning of the Nostalgia Critic, but I sure as shit don't watch it now. You know, I'm like second generation. And by now, I mean like since his reputation has gone down the toilet, like that little period of a couple years where he was irrelevant, but he wasn't a laughingstock because his reputation wasn't horrible. Now, it wasn't that first generation where he was like the hot shit, you know? But as a second generation Nostalgia Critic fanboy, truthfully, I think I admired Doug Walker's work more than I actually watched it, let alone appreciated it. And I remember, like, younger me saying, oh, I don't watch everything he uploads. That was kind of my consensus because, you know, it wasn't good enough for me to be motivated to watch all of it. I wasn't that invested. I was invested, but not enough to catch up on it regularly. No, but I still had respect for the guy. This implies that I've kind of always had a issue with his release schedule. You know, nonetheless, I was a fan of Nostalgia Critic at one point, and I think we all were. It's just kind of something we all grow out of. And, you know, I have some good memories of just some, like, cold-ass winter days, building Lego with some Nostalgia Critic on in the background. And then one day, it just hit me. I don't think I ever actually, like, liked it, as in appreciated it and invested in it. Like, I'd fucking watch it, I continued to watch it, but I don't think I liked it necessarily. I think I only watched it for completionist purposes because it was associated with AVGN, and I knew other people in real life that watched these much more than me. You know, it was like a cool thing to do for, like, the 4 motherfuckers in my 5th grade class that knew who he was. But yeah, despite watching a lot of his content for years, not all of, but a lot of his content for years, I don't think I have ever actually laughed at a Nostalgia Critic video, and I watched this for years, and I still cannot think of, like, any jokes that stood out to me. Like, I remember watching Ray William Johnson and Smosh and Super Mario Logan, all that shit, but, like, you know, I could at least remember all the jokes I used to find funny. That doesn't mean the jokes are funny now, but I remember appreciating them.
Who let the ass out? How I love it.
I cannot think of a single Nostalgia Critic joke I ever laughed at. Maybe I did laugh at a joke at some point, but like I can't remember a single good joke he's ever made. But I think the biggest issue of Nostalgia Critic is the release schedule. Now, as of the time of me writing this, there were over 500 Nostalgia Critic episodes. Now, you're probably thinking, 500 episodes? That's a lot of episodes. How did he make so many episodes? And he's been doing these for over 10 years, but it's every week for over 10 years. And if you know one thing about making videos and you're trying when you make your videos, is that making videos fucking sucks ass. Especially if it's like a 20 to 30 minute video. Holy hell, why do you think I never post? You see, I kind of interpret like a 20-30 minute long YouTube video made by one person, kind of like 3-hour movie. It's either gonna be, like, really epic, like Lord of the Rings, or just, like, painfully drawn-out shit like The Hobbit, because it's either gonna have actual effort with an assload of work because of the sheer amount of content, or it's going to appear as if it's high effort. Like, the Hobbit movies are, like, 3 hours long, like Lord of the Rings, because it's trying to be like the thing that's epic, but it's not. But like, goddamn, a new 20 to 30 minute video every week. And it is most definitely a quantity over quality situation. Because most of these videos are like 20 to 30 minutes long. In like 2007-ish, they were like 10 minutes. They weren't always like 20-30 minutes, but like 2/3 of them are. And as time goes on, it is evidently clear that Doug does not have time to make videos. Either that, or he has plenty of time and just has zero fucking clue what he's doing. But I think he has no time for his videos. Like, his editing is so bare minimum, it feels like it was made in 2007 with Movie Maker. In fact, his modern editing style and modern style of reviewing, if you could call it modern, reminds me of like Equals 3, which if you were a cool kid in the day, that's what you watched.
You guys ever been to Walmart?
And this was the show where Mr. Johnson, who was apparently part of a hip-hop group called Fatty Spins and released a song called, get this, Doin' Your Mom.
doing your mom? That's just insulting!
He just review random viral clips, often sent in by fans that I guess trended on social media that weekend. Which makes it extremely dated unless you've seen like a popular viral video from like 10 fucking years ago. But what is the structure and editing of equals 3? Screaming, clip, screaming, clip, screaming, clip. And what's the structure of a Nostalgia Critic review? Well, the actual review portions at least. Clip, screaming, clip, screaming, etc. Like, I swear, Doug Walker, much like Ray William Johnson and Tobuscus, are just, like, fucking stuck in their respective years that they were popular, and they just didn't evolve with the internet at all. And this editing, like I've said, is just so bare minimum. Like, you could do anything more than what he does, and it would still be better than Nostalgia Critic's editing. Because so many shortcuts are taken, and it's so unspecific and unrecognizable, and hasn't improved at all. Like, you figured it would have improved because he's been making these for like 10 plus fucking years, but no. This is so basic. There is so much room for stylization, and a cool style would make your videos stand out a lot and more memorable. But style takes time to develop, and no time was taken whatsoever, despite the fact that it's been over a decade. Like, it's actually shocking how he's only devolved as a creator. Like, boy, you are the Nostalgia Critic. Why not stylistically commit to the nostalgia aspect? Like, dude, you could make your aesthetic, like, radically 80s as fuck or something, with, like, a stupid-ass Leafy is here intro. Why not, like, glitch up the footage to create the illusion of the video being through, like, a bad access cable show being viewed through a fucking cable switch box or something? On top of that, maybe crop out the aspect ratio, you know, the black bars around the movie, to get rid of that shit. Or hell, just widen the footage so you have no aspect ratio. Or just duplicate the footage, stretch it, and blur it. Just like literally anything. Like, you could literally do so much with this editing, and he doesn't do anything. There's also a noticeable lack of music in the commentary. See, if you use music with your commentary, it kind of makes white noise, if any, around you less audible, and gives your audience something to vibe to as well, and can further imply personality. And again, the type of music chosen could be a stylistic decision. But no, he doesn't even remove the audio channel half the time, he just dubs over the footage, which sounds weird. Listen closely.
He discovers he needs a reindeer, so he searches for one in the mountains and finds one that he calls Fred.
He often puts little history lessons in the videos, just recapping basic facts about the property he's talking about, which is a fine thing to imply context of an episode. But, like, there's no transition to anything for what he's talking about. Like, so bare minimum. Where is the pizzazz? In fact, Doug Walker, in recent years at least, I'm not sure how recent, uses Premiere for his videos, proven by this epic Instagram post. Regardless of how these movies are iMovie or Movie Maker quality, shows his lack of improvement not being caused by lack of resources. You know what this very video you are watching right now was edited with? Premiere Pro. Yeah, that's right, me and Doug use the same software to edit our videos. And you notice how they look completely different? Like, I'm not trying to sound like egotistical, but personally, I think my editing is better than Doug Walker's. Kind of obvious Doug just never worked out all the kinks with the program. Premiere is a big and scary program. Maybe Doug doesn't have all the time to learn everything about it. You know, because he's making a 20 to 30 minute fucking video every week for years. Wouldn't you want to have less videos of higher quality than more videos of lower quality? Like, guys, isn't it a good day when, like, an AVGN video you haven't seen in, like, 6 years pop up to your recommendation? In fact, speaking of AVGN, Doug Walker made more Nostalgia Critic videos by year 6 of Nostalgia Critic than James has made AVGN videos out of entirety. As the time of me scripting, AVGN is on 196 episodes, so let's just round that to 200, which I'm sure has increased since, so 200-ish. But Nostalgia Critic episode 196 came out in January 2012, which was like almost 10 years ago as of the time of me writing. Around the time I stopped watching him, I actually assumed he had like a big editing team, because like I wanted to make like 30-minute videos every week. But no, he actually does all this by himself, which would be commendable if it was high quality, but no, it's not at all. It is very clearly rushed. There is no need for all of these videos. In fact, according to Phantom Strider in his interview with Ask Air, he's very busy.
Doug was fine to work with. He just sent me the takes. You know, he's a very busy fella, so he changed his lines here and there, you know, but mostly I just tried to get it to his tone and look over his review.
And for those of you who didn't know, Phantom Strider has collaborated with him multiple times.
I have heard an astonishing amount of people claim that this is the #1 best Cartoon Network show. Really? We've got Steven Universe.
I don't understand that at all. Why the fuck do you always sweat in your fucking videos? There's multiple examples where you're just fucking exuding sweat everywhere. How do you not see this? How do you edit your videos and not see that you're fucking sweating up a storm? What the fuck is going on?
Man, why is he busy? Probably because he's gotta make so many fucking videos. But Doug is really good at staying on schedule. In fact, he doesn't really seem to be facing many production delays throughout the entirety of his career. Probably because he isn't trying, or just has no clue what he's doing. Like, Scott the Woz, as the time of me scripting, like, usually makes, like, a video every week. But, like, Scott the Woz usually takes breaks and, like, misses deadlines and shit, actually pretty frequently, which doesn't matter because the content is not this. And you would assume, wait a second, all of these videos are like 20 or 30 minutes long. You would assume he actually has a lot to say about the things he's talking about. And as a result, he gets hate because people don't like his takes. When in reality, it's probably just because it's not that he makes bad takes, it's that he doesn't make any takes, or at least not interesting ones. And to be completely fair, sometimes he just makes a bad take, but a majority of the videos just feel like he just fucking pulls a random DVD off the shelf and nothing feels earned as a topic. Like, if you're gonna make a video on something, you have to have an opinion that's already been developed and you're just expressing that opinion through a professional scripted format. And not everything usually ends up becoming a video. You might have an opinion on it, you might find something interesting about it, but is there enough to say about this for this to earn the video slot? In fact, as a writer, I can definitely say I've come up with like 75 ideas, and like only 4 of those actually become fucking videos. I swear it. Anything will just become a video. Like, it doesn't feel as if it's an earned topic, and he says nothing interesting about it. Like, it just feels very fuck it, not, hey, I actually have an interesting thing to say about this piece of art. So many of the videos are just, like, forced into being videos. Like, I'm not gonna do a video on something I have nothing to say about it. Now, you might have something to say about it, but not me, so I'm not gonna make the fucking video. In fact, his videos are similar to, like, Alpha Furry Show or Mr. Johnny Don't Ping Me Ever Enter, in his less recent videos at least. And I like to call his type of reviewing the recap formula style, where you go through something scene by scene and measure it of it being good or bad with your opinion either increasing or decreasing as the movie actually goes along, creating an overall opinion from a combination of every aspect of the film that was just recapped. Now, I do this, I don't actually just like the formula, but usually this is made by only highlighting things you have to say something about, because if there's nothing to say about it, then don't talk about it. But like Nostalgia Critic videos go over like every fucking scene and like every fucking joke, and it's stretched out to like 30 minutes for no reason. Like, if you don't have something to say about a scene, then like, don't mention the scene. Like, when I talked about the 2004 Fat Albert movie, there was like a scene where they go to a fair, but I couldn't make any jokes out of it, so I just didn't acknowledge the scene in the video.
Since that's where it's at, I don't wanna get skinny. For what? I like the bigger heart that's within me.
Ah, shut the fuck up, Mom! I'm listening to the Fat Albert rape rap. Because that would be pointless. And you notice how I don't go over every single fucking joke, too? And I mean, like, every single joke. Like, hang on, guys. Now, I'm gonna talk about a movie in a Doug Walker style of reviewing. And I guess he's trying to, like, make fun of the movie as it goes along, but like the jokes just completely fall flat. Like, this would actually be an excusable format if the jokes were good, but obviously you can't expect many good jokes when so much of the movie is being covered. Like, one Nostalgia Critic video is like 1/3 of the actual movie, I swear. So I guess the point of the Nostalgia Critic is to entertain rather than inform. It kind of lacks balance in information and comedy and analysis. Like, those 3 important aspects are not very well balanced. Okay, so let's talk about a movie in the style of Doug Walker reviewing. Okay, I'm gonna be talking about Shaun of the Dead, and Shaun of the Dead is one of my favorite movies. Well, what do I like about it? It's funny. Well, why do I find it funny? Well, that's my fucking job as the critic, to explain the reasoning. So therefore, to contribute to my opinion, I should highlight the scenes that contribute to the opinion of me finding the movie funny. But instead of only highlighting things that contribute to my point, I'm just gonna go over everything, cause fuck it. And when everything is gone over, there is little to no actual analysis, and it's just jokes that aren't funny. This is my Shaun of the Dead Dog Walker style review. So anyway, Shaun walks down the street, and oh my god, look at all this product placement! So then he goes and buys a Diet Coke and a red Cornetto. Oh, come on, Simon Pegg. Who the hell likes the red Cornetto? Everyone knows you're not supposed to eat the red Cornetto. Eat the green Cornetto. Look, it's in the World's End. Why couldn't you put it here? It's the best flavor. And, like, that's my entire analysis of the scene, but it's 5 minutes longer. Just imagine that. And you notice how I didn't actually acknowledge anything about the production? Like, you notice how I could have talked about the scene being packed with, like, tons of sight gags, which conclude to the audience that a zombie apocalypse is in fact happening, which, due to the sheer amount of obvious signs that our main protagonist fails to realize within a single shot take, with so much happening in a short time frame with no pauses, in my personal opinion, is integral to the review. That's funny. Like, repeat what I just said in a Doug Walker voice. He's never said anything like that like, actually acknowledges the production or explains why he dislikes or likes something. If he dislikes something, he's just going, oh, this is stupid, and scream. Like, the persuasion that the movie is bad is not balanced with the comedy. You can make jokes about how bad something is, but the jokes don't make observations about anything, or at least not anything that the audience can very clearly see, like the Cornetto. But of the Nostalgia Critic videos, that's just the actual review portions of the videos. So let's go over the anatomy of a post-2013 Nostalgia Critic video. Starts with fucking epic intro. Then, dumb 2 to 3 minute sketch. Then, some basic facts about the movie that the audience probably already knows because they clicked on the fucking video. Then, about 9 minutes of clip screaming, then another sketch. Then the conclusion of the movie, and then another ending sketch. And you notice how I'm mentioning sketches a lot? Well, all of a sudden, it decides to be Saturday Night Live out of somewhere. So, post-2013, there's like a lot of sketches in his videos. The skits are on a next level of bad. Holy hell. Like, and I thought the review portions were boring. So, if you didn't know, Nostalgia Critic attempted to make a sketch show called Demo Reel, and I guess he really wanted to make sketch comedy, except no one liked it because it was fucking terrible. But to make Demo Reel and other projects, he temporarily retired the Nostalgia Critic. But then he realized, wait a second, me and my fat cock have this epic property that everyone wants to come back. What if I just put sketches like Demo Reel in Nostalgia Critic so everyone will watch it? The skits in Nostalgia Critic are spiritual successors, if you could call them successors, but they're definitely spiritual because they share a lot of the same issues. But the plot of Demo Reel is that Donnie Dupre likes making movies, and he takes perfect movies and makes them low-quality versions of the movies, because this is an intentional bad stylistic decision, when in reality it's just Doug doing his normal shit that he thinks is hilarious. Haha, look at it. I'm aware that everything I shoot looks like fucking shit. Isn't it funny that it looks bad? Well, you better think that joke is hilarious, because it's my one fucking joke. And Doug is the main character of this show for some reason. Doug being the main lead of the show is horribly miscast. Like, they should have gotten a younger guy, like some college junkie dropout looking motherfucker. Not a, like, prematurely balding man in his 30s. But good thing Demo Reel is actually the funniest shit of all time. Like, bro, the supervillain shuffle, scenes that go hard.
We're not doing the supervillain shuffle!
I am Ra's Cool, and I'm here to say no inflection in your voice is A-OK. With the leak of shadows, I'll make Gotham fall. I have several identities, all of them dull.
I am Harvey Dent, and my face is bent. My evil motivation makes little sense. I was a nice guy, but now I'm deranged, determining my future on the back of change. My attitude can turn on the flip of a dime. Boy, I tell you, this deal's getting worse all the time.
I am Dr. Crane, totally insane, and I only have a few lines in the movie, so next.
Now this is a story all about how my frown got flipped, turned upside down, and I'd like to take a minute, don't go too far. I'm gonna tell you a little story about how I got these scars.
Guys, do you think Malcolm Ray, one of Doug's main actors, ever saw the Ernest Saves Christmas review?
What's up, my nigga?
But he also made another non-nostalgia critic show called Pop Quiz Hotshot, which he crowdfunded $90,000 from. And you're probably thinking, $90,000? You know, maybe he actually learned from his mistakes, and budgetary restrictions were a large issue with the content. You know, he just didn't have the money to do what he wanted to do, and his emulation failed poorly just because it just wasn't possible. And he did lots of impossible things. Well, of that $90,000 he got for demo reel, he apparently only spent $47,767. So what did they do with $47,767?
Are you ready, Chris? Are you ready, Shader? Go! Find Robert Downey Jr.'s career at the bottom of the cocaine. What I got here? No, that...
What the hell is this? What is with the 6th grade group project fuck-up aesthetic? Like, why the hell is the text just fucking text printed on paper? Why is this like a fucking corner of a basement and not a soundstage? What happened to the other $42,223?
Oh, shit! Western comedy had the line, do you know what a plethora is?
The Three Amigos.
Close. It's the Three Amigos, not the Three Amigos.
It's a funny line.
It is a funny line, but nevertheless.
What are these questions?
Look out for the spazies. The first one to hit their buzzer when they appear ends the round.
Why is that a feature? Oh, Joe, watch out. There's a fucking thing we edited in post. You have to dodge.
Oh my God, Joseph, what are you doing? Martha, I swear, it's not what you think. Oh, rotten hell, you little man whore!
Each contestant is asked a series of questions involving nostalgia quotes. If the contestant does not know the answer, but can make the nostalgia critic laugh, 10 points are still given.
Why are you just giving points away for no reason? Wait, is this just part of the game? Man, it's almost like there's no structure to fucking anything, because there isn't. But don't worry, they're giving away $100. Yeah, that's right. $100. And the people that were on this apparently still had to pay for a plane ticket and hotel. So yeah, Doug had a failed game show. But Doug got actors from both Demo Reel and Pop Quiz Hotshot and made them other main reoccurring characters in the Nostalgia Critic. Now, he had other characters and guests before, but like, no, this is a full-on, consistent, every episode ensemble cast. All of a sudden, it's an ensemble sitcom mixed with movie reviews. So what do all these epic cast members contribute to the show? Well, they contribute all these wacky characters, most of which are played by the same people because they can't hire any more actors. And none of the actors can act worth for shit. Now, this is probably Doug's fault due to poor direction over anything else. But everybody acts the same. Everybody looks the same. There's so little timing and structure and complex motion within the performances. Like, everyone always awkwardly stands around, like there's no expression of anything. It's just, like, fucking still. No one is enthusiastic. No one conveys an emotion properly. And, like, why does there have to be a fucking cinematic universe around these videos? Like, it's just pointless. And there's a way to do it right, but he's not doing it right. It would be incredibly commendable if he did it correctly, but he isn't doing it correctly. Like, why is there all this lore? It's YouTube videos about a guy who sits in front of a wall and talks about a movie. Like, so much of this lore is so fucking unnecessary and pointless and contributes nothing to the point of the video, which is to make a consensus about a piece of media. This doesn't tell us anything. In fact, it's genuinely unwatchable at times. It is so unnecessary, and so little of the actual content in the video contributes to Doug's actual thoughts on the week's topic. He has entirely separate videos of actual thoughts on videos. Like, why is this a series of videos? Shouldn't your actual thoughts be in the videos? And the fact that these types of videos exist kind of proves my point about the rather lack of takes rather than making shit takes. Like, there is room for dumb jokes, but still being informative and critical. And like I said, nothing is balanced. Doug is barely a critic, he just makes dumb jokes and recaps the movie. So he's more of a comedian rather than a critic, but he's also a terrible comedian. So, combined with all the dumb jokes, including the sketches, and combined with recapping the movie and basic facts about the movie and declaring his actual opinion at the end, that's like 30 minutes of content, when in reality, there's no need for 30 minutes of content. Only make 30 minutes of content of a movie review if you have 30 minutes worth of points to establish why it's good or bad. These videos could be 5 minutes, and he never takes advantage of the sketches to actually contribute to criticism, which we figured he'd do. There might be a parody of the movie, but they don't actually acknowledge criticism within the dialogue. Like Scott the Woz, bringing him up again, he has various videos which are more of sketches in of themselves, but are still analyses of what the topic is. The actual portions of what is being analyzed is just slightly different. It's still an analysis, just presented differently. Okay, so the sketches don't make a point about anything, but are they well produced? No, they're not well produced, as I've established. Most of the time, it is just two idiots back and forth in a room dicking around with a camera. Bringing up AVGN again, there are plenty of videos which are more of sketches than reviews. Except what works about the AVGN videos is that the sketches are, like, actually well produced. So the lack of criticism doesn't make it an issue because there's entertainment value beyond the criticism, which is irrelevant in context. Fighting Bugs Bunny has nothing to do with saying that the video game being discussed in the video sucks. But it manages to having entertainment value because it's a well-made skit. And it actually works as an occasional subversion of formula. If there's some formula variety, it could be interesting. But no, sketches are like an every video thing, and it gets pandering. But the closest thing that James Rolfe AVGN ever made to like an ensemble sitcom, aka what Doug Walker is trying to do in like half his videos, is Bored James. Now, Bored James actually succeeds because of shot composition is actually interesting. The additions of Motherfucker Mike and Bad Luck Bootsy actually contribute legitimate analysis. In fact, the personalities are actually good highlights about how the game could be good or bad. Motherfucker Mike is there to be a pain in the ass, which is his personality. Being a pain in the ass could contribute to showcasing how people could cheat in the game, which could contribute to the analysis of it. Bad Luck Bootsy is there with his annoying old-timey personality to show you how you can accidentally make mistakes within the game, because he makes mistakes. That's his character. These characters are purposeful to the criticism. Oh, also, Bored James is, like, actually funny.
Aw, man, we gotta play this game with him again? I don't wanna play with him. He's a friggin' schmuck.
Oh, you got a coffee. You wanna be just like us, huh?
I like my coffee how I like my women. With my dick in it! Oh! Boink, boink, boink!
See, look at how what's being enunciated is actually, like, expressive. So, but what the fuck do Tamara and Malcolm contribute to anything besides doing the supervillain shuffle? Fucking nothing. There is no point for any other characters, because they rarely contribute actual criticism, because the sketches are devoid of criticism. But they are for the most part pointless. But pointless doesn't mean bad. Filler can be fun, but it's not very fun filler, it's just fucking shit. Like I said, there's like no motion or timing to analyze within the comedy. Everyone just stands there like robots. Timing and expression is very important in comedy.
Let's say you're driving along the road with your family, and you're driving along, la-li-la, woo, and then all of a sudden there's a truck tire in the middle of the road, and you hit the brakes. Whoa, that was close. Now let's see what happens when you're driving with the other guy's brake pads. You're driving along, and all of a sudden the kids are yelling from the back seat, I gotta go to the bathroom, Daddy. Not now, damn it. Truck tire. I can't stop. Help! There's a cliff. And your family's screaming, oh my God, we're burning alive! No, I can't feel my legs! In comes a meat wagon! Wee, wee, wee. And the medic gets out and says, oh my God. New guy's in the corner puking his guts out. All because you want to save a couple extra pennies. And to me, it doesn't...
Get out. Now.
Look, like, that performance was all in the timing and movement. In fact, the characters don't even have, like, traits or anything. Like, even the most basic shit Disney Channel sitcoms understand this. Every character just acts like Doug. Doug is every character because he wrote this. Everyone is himself. So yeah, the sketches are incredibly poorly written and aren't well shot for a variety of reasons. Most shots are just shot, reverse shot in a fucking corner, over and over again. If we watch a Smosh video from like 10-ish years ago, like this is better shot than a recent Nostalgia Critic video. Like, old Smosh videos actually look much better than Nostalgia Critic videos. There's, like, actual, like, variety in the composition. Like, look how the camera cuts. If this were Nostalgia Critic, the two characters would be casually just on the couch talking in a singular take. And despite the fact that he clearly has the money for much more production resources, he doesn't take advantage of that, and it's insulting. And he never actually takes advantage of special effects to have the same person on screen at multiple times. Like, it just cuts to someone else in a different costume. Despite the fact that it tries to have, like, tons of crazy effects, of course it falls flat, but it attempts. Because Doug is very clearly aware that what he does looks like shit, but, like, that's the joke. Haha, get it? It looks bad. In fact, there's, like, tons of makeup and costumes and green screen that all look like shit, too. Like, why actually take the time to create realistic, good-looking green screen environments when we could just MS Paint it because hee. Like I said, these videos are made every fucking week. There is such little time to do anything. Like, this time crunch is fucking the entire thing up. But in fact, he even has, like, a sub-series of Nostalgia Critic dubbed Clipless Reviews because Doug reviews the movie, but without footage from the movie because it came out in theaters 2 weeks ago, which is incredibly inconsistent with the gimmick of the series. Like, guys, I wanted to make a Rise of Skywalker video the second I walked out of the theater because I was just, like, laughing because the fact that I just experienced, like, no emotion for 2 hours straight. And whether you agree with my take on the Rise of Skywalker or not, you gotta give me some credit for waiting till the movie was out on digital instead of reenacting the movie at home. And out of all of the clipless reviews, which he's done multiple Star Wars episodes of, the Star Wars ones look the worst. You know, Star Wars, you know, the thing that had, like, effects that fucking revolutionized the industry.
I have come to deliver the most awesome scene in the movie. Yeah, no, this is nothing. This is literally nothing. I can do this with no hands. Watch. Yeah. Get down. Wow, yeah. My saber is also great at making people shorter.
But nah, guys, we made, like, Star Wars in, like, 2 weeks. Yeah, let's just green screen everything, even if it's something that could be done practically. Like, guys, why actually drive down to a beach and film on a beach when we could just green screen the beach in a fucking room instead? Like, if you're gonna green screen everything, at least make it a convincing green screen. There is no work put into this whatsoever. And like I said, the costumes are atrocious, but don't worry, that's the joke, and you better think that everything looks like shit joke is hilarious. When in reality, the everything looks like shit joke gets really old really quickly. I guess the joke is that it's the original movie, but shitty looking. But even with that type of stylistic punchline, it fails at that. Like, there is no effort put into the actual practicality. Like, if you wanted to make it purposely bad, make it sound like everyone is reading. Maybe don't key out all of the green screen. But the thing that works about jokes where the punchline is, oh hey, look at how shit the TV show looks, that it's a subversion of formula of presentation, when this fails because it isn't a subversion. Everything looks like this. There's no well-made actual Star Wars replica. It's not a good punchline because it's the only punchline, and the punchline isn't even complete. It's like part of a punchline. Like, we're supposed to laugh at the low quality, even though there's nothing high quality, unless you count the movie, but like, why should that even be a necessity? In fact, Nostalgia Critic production actively reminds me of, like, bad fan-made epic rap battles of history videos from like 2013.
So go find Blue's Clues. Here's a clue. Your hairstyle makes you look like a Jew.
Which kind of share like the same rushed fuck it mentality, both in costumes and casting and cinematography.
Go my birthday!
Verses are more crap than what Bobby listens to.
I'll meet you in the bathroom, give you my joy would tell.
Nice backup vocal. Also,
That's very gay.
Like, seriously, rape jokes in a battle involving Blue's Clues characters? And your fans wonder why we took these fucking videos down.
Mozart versus Skrillex.
Waiting for me, any guy named Skrillex probably sucks dick.
Like, look at this Mozart costume. Yeah, who cares if it's just a fucking bathrobe instead of some 1700s drip, which isn't in our closet, so we just got a fucking bathrobe, and put, like, baking soda in the actor's hair.
Weird Al Yankovic versus Bart Baker!
Yeah, the fuck cares that, like, Bart Baker is played by a literal child and, like, Weird Al is, like, Latino, I think.
You sound like a gay guy who stepped on a brittle. After I'm done with your mom, I'll tell her a riddle. Yes, I know I'm Weird Al. And yeah, I know I'm weird, but I'm better than you. But not you, cause you're fucking queer.
Welcome to Rocka's World! Rocka, Al. Get ready to feel the lyrical thing when I'm ready to go!
The king has entered, so all eyes on me. I'm a hard collector.
Yeah, fuck it. We don't have a black actor to play Tupac, so let's just literally fucking blackface instead. Oh, look, there's one with Doug in it by some fucking coincidence. But the difference between Bart Baker over here and Nostalgia Critic is that Nostalgia Critic is made by people with years of experience and unlimited money and technological advancements. Like, remember how I said all of the actors in Nostalgia Critic portray multiple characters? Well, they have a limited amount of actors. But very rarely is actual thought put into the acting process. It's just kind of very, fuck it. Okay, Tamara is a white woman, so I guess she has to be Ray, because, like, Ray is a white woman. Now, Tamara doesn't actually look much like Daisy Ridley at all. I'm not insulting her physical appearance, I'm just saying she does not look like the same person she's attempting to portray, despite being a member of the same sex and same skin pigmentation. Malcolm has the worst out of anyone, because he's just like every black character, because he's black. Yeah, who cares if he's not a little girl?
I got a black Morty from another dimension.
I'm the woke version.
Like, I'm not trying to insult anyone's appearance. I'm just saying, like, physically, these people often do not resemble the actual actors, even in the cosplay, which is kind of deprivative from the point of reenacting the footage yourself. I guess it's supposed to be like the Family Guy Star Wars specials or something.
And don't forget to watch Family Guy, Sunday nights at...
Family Guy.
Sometimes they're just so lazy, like, for example, they didn't have anyone to play Han Solo and they couldn't make Juggernaut in the budget, so they just got a JPEG of Han Solo's face and, like, a cutout of Juggernaut instead. Like, get it? Isn't it funny? We were fucking lazy. Hardy har har. No, it gets old incredibly quickly. It's painful to fucking sit through. But for some reason, he has done actual live screenings of this shit before, and he tries to pass it off as an actual movie.
Thanks everybody for coming out to the big screen premiere of our review of It Chapter 2. We had a great time meeting you guys, and like all...
This is what hell on earth looks like. In fact, why is he reviewing things in theaters? At the time of the release, I thought they were supposed to be his gimmick, that he's revisiting things from his childhood, but I guess he ran out of things to revisit, now he just covers whatever he wants. Okay, so he's evolved his territory, which would be fine if the videos were good, making the alteration justifiable, but it's not justifiable. So his territory was originally 80s and 90s stuff, because he was born in 1981, but then he switched over to things anyone could be nostalgic for, really, not just him. Like, for example, for a nostalgic review, he talked about the first Frozen when Frozen 2 came out around the same time. So yeah, it'd been a while since the OG Frozen, and most people could be nostalgic for it. But you're not nostalgic for it. What connection do you have to this? It's been a while, but you're not a child. Well, I mean, like, if you want to get technical, the very first episode was Transformers 2007, which was in theaters at the time the video came out. So I guess he has done this from the beginning. But at least Transformers somewhat gets a pass because it was based on an 80s and 90s property, and it's a shitty adaptation of an old property. Of course, you can break your gimmick, but, like, Doug breaks his gimmick so much that it's not significant, it's just the new gimmick. Like, AVGN did videos on, like, Sonic 06 and Life of a Black Tiger, which was out of his territory, but that's such a small amount of all the episodes. That's fine as an occasional subversion of formula. It's not like he talks about a PS4 game every 2 fucking episodes. In fact, I think the nostalgia shifts with his audience. His most popular video is his review of The Adventures of Shark Boy and Lava Girl, which, you know, is a children's movie from 2005.
He ruined my Patrick, send him to the principal's office and have him expelled!
Very clearly not nostalgic to Doug, but it's definitely nostalgic to some of his viewers, hence to why it's the most popular video on his channel. I mean, like, he undeniably has gained a new audience as years go past. In fact, he might have made this change just for the money, or the fact that he was running out of ideas. Because nostalgia is an emotion, and it's a powerful emotion, and just like any emotion, it can be manipulated. If my next video was called, "This episode of Martha Speaks was a little bit dark," would you click on that video? Well, I would, because I'm nostalgic for Martha Speaks. Of course, I'm curious to see how it's a little bit dark.
This film takes place less than a year after the September 11th terrorist attacks.
It works. It fucking brings in the big bucks. Nostalgic people are clicking on the video, despite the fact that that's not an 80s or 90s thing. His audience shifts over time, and he kind of took advantage of that, which devalued a lot of the integrity and significance of the selected topics. And you gotta understand, back in 2007, clips screaming was like legitimately edited content. And if, like, you could legitimately edit a video in, like, 2007, you stood out from the crowd. Standards have shifted, and Doug has become less and less relevant because production standards have increased, and Doug cannot live up to those standards. He's just another reviewer. He no longer stands out from the crowd. But the shift in direction, I do think, turned a lot of people off because it loses personal connection because of the original audience. Like, for some fucking reason, he decided to make his 10-year anniversary special a review of Norm of the North. Now, for those of you who didn't know, Norm of the North was a hate bandwagon for a long time. In fact, lots of people consider it one of, if not the worst mainstream theatrically released animated film of all time. So that excludes things like Food Fight and Rap City Street Kids. As like a major motion animated picture in North America, it's one of, if not the worst of those, is what the consensus of the movie was. So yeah, Norm of the North, pretty infamously bad movie. That's why I talked about it. But like, why make it your 10-year anniversary? Like, what does this have to do with reflecting on 10 years? This could have been a special episode because it's a subversion of formula. You review shit from like 3 years ago all the time. It's not special. Maybe it was because of the publicity, because he wanted to talk about it. He's also talking about the Emoji Movie. Why? I don't know, you gotta get them clicks. Everyone's fucking talked about the Emoji Movie. I fucking talked about it. Everyone did. In fact, his 10-year anniversary isn't even a reflection of growth, which makes sense because he's barely grown as a creator. Like, a majority of the issues with his content add up if you actually think about them. It's insane, and it's insulting to watch. The next issue with this content that I have is the thumbnails. Now, some of the thumbnails are just obnoxious. Back in the day, his thumbnails just used to be title cards like AVGN, but not now. It's just now Doug's face inserted into a piece of promotional material related to the media, and it looks awful, and Doug is usually screaming. Oh, hey, look, he ripped off the Weird Al Palooza album cover. Oh, this one is my favorite. Forgive me, Father. Jesus Christ. Hey, yo, Doug, I know you did not just not invite me to the eating Superman contest with Angry Joe. That's what it fucking looks like. Why are they both screaming? Me when my mom says that we can have gushers after dinner, am I right? Doug, it's only Wednesday, 5 p.m. Central Time. It's not Fursuit Friday. You can't be wearing that. Doug, are you gonna, like, punch children? You could punch me, Daddy. Oh, dude, I always wanted to see Doug's head as a M&M. Like, I guess these thumbnails are better than, like, MS Paint, Comic Sans nonsense, but, like, a majority of the thumbnails are trying to be funny, and they're not funny at all. Like, I just think there are genuine flaws out of inconsistencies with premise and what I've said about the sketches, which are pointless. Like, a majority of what's wrong with Nostalgia Critic is either out of just bad critiques or inconsistencies with premise. So is he the worst YouTuber in the world? Absolutely not, but, like, his content is bad. But at least his videos are, like, actual content. He is legitimately trying, he just completely falls on his ass and is never gonna get back up. And hasn't. In fact, I think the best Channel Awesome videos are the Disney-cember videos, which are more of like actual critiques. Like, it's unfortunate that, like, his legitimate critiques, which you figured he would put in Nostalgia Critic, but no, he puts his legitimate thoughts in Disney-cember videos, and his actual thoughts sub-series of videos, for some reason, are just downsized to being released daily at the end of the year, with each of episode only being, like, 5 minutes long. Like, that's lame. I will say, one of his big advantages is that, as a critic, he can break down questions well. In fact, the fact that he can break down questions well, in my opinion, is what encouraged me to break down a question about him for a video. Like, during the, I Hate Everything Derek Savage controversy, which happened a while back, which, if you didn't know, I Hate Everything made a review of, Daddy Derek Savage's film Cool Cat Saves the Kids, an anti-bullying kids gun safety movie. And, no, I'm not making a horny joke, like, that's his actual character's name in the franchise. Yeah, that's right, Derek Savage is Cool Cat's father. Bro, you did not just disrespect Sonichu lore like that, come on. Daddy Derek, please do not take down my channel, thank you. But, you see, the thing is that, Derek Savage actually successfully got I Hate Everything channel and other people's reviews of Cool Cat successfully taken down, even though he had no legal right to. So in response, Doug made a video saying, what is fair use? And he actually does a good job of breaking down the question. It's like he actually contributes to a point, and it could be entertaining. Like, he has, all the ambition is there, he has points to make, he just doesn't make points, and uses the ambition incorrectly, and it's insulting to watch. Doug obviously has an ego, he's very much, Mr. I can do everything by myself in a short amount of time. And also, I'm the fucking king of comedy. I have an epic supporting cast with epic material, and I am so great, and I never listen to, like, anyone's criticism, and I keep doing the same shit because I'm so smart, guys. Man, I can't believe no one appreciates the emotional complexity of the supervillain shuffle. I never tried anything different because I'm just so great. Like, his ego starts just this domino effect, which creates this, I'm gonna make a video every week, and then every issue just comes tumbling the fuck down. Like, it's just a domino effect. Like, he systematically refuses to improve, and he never gets his shit together. It's not like he ever, like, said anything bad. Back in 2008, Doug released his Nostalgia Critic episode on Top 11 Animated Nostalgia Hotties list, which was later renamed to the Top 11 Hottest Animated Women. He put Sailor Moon, a 14-year-old, at number 9, which I guess kind of proves that he doesn't really give a shit about the research of his videos. Like, that kind of makes it obvious that he didn't, like, watch the show. In fact, he says that he doesn't like the show in the video.
I put her pretty low on this list because I found this show just so goddamn annoying. Even when I was a kid, I thought this show sucked. I mean, the story makes no sense, the characters are all morons, and they keep using the same chunks of animation over and over.
Like, it kind of is obvious he just Googled 1990s animated female protagonist, and then that was just one of the results. So, we're just calling a 14-year-old hot on the internet, whoop-de-doo. And if you actually look at the video, he only uses footage from the first episode of Sailor Moon. If you don't believe me, look it up. Even though the pilot very clearly establishes that the character is a minor. So yeah, he made an oopsie, but don't worry, he elaborated on his oopsie when he made his own Sailor Moon Nostalgia Critic episode. And he decides to elaborate on why he made this decision and why the decision was okay.
Take all that away and just tell yourself, this obviously sexualized transformation that takes up a solid minute in each episode happens to a 14-year-old girl.
Okay, so I guess he thinks there's sexual content in the transformation sequences. Even though there's, like, nothing sexual, there's not, like, fucking close-up butt shots, nobody's boobs are jiggling, like, he thinks it's a striptease, like, how is it a fucking striptease? Fucking clothes are being added on to the characters, that would differentiate the identity. What is being stripped?
And, of course, the miniskirt. The mini skirt.
Like, why is he even talking about mini skirts? Like, okay, so yeah, the skirt is like shortened, but it's not a fucking mini skirt. Like, that's like a figure skater skirt. Goddamn. Oh my god, the character's legs are showing. It's a fucking strip like, shut up. That is a fucking awful take.
14. Damn!
Okay, so you now learn that the characters are 14. You acknowledge to the audience that the characters are 14, and yet you continue to thirst over them as like a joke.
You might be saying to yourself, oh, what? Didn't you grow up watching the show? Didn't you pay attention to it at all? No, I didn't! I mean, I watched it, but I didn't really listen to it. I too was 14 at a time, and maybe I viewed it for different reasons.
Like, haha, the statutory rape. Like, I assume this is an unironic take on the show. Like, I know I said earlier that, like, a majority of his actual takes aren't in the Nostalgia Critic videos, but that's just a majority. Like, I really hope this isn't his actual opinion on Sailor Moon, and this is just a really bad joke. But no, how does he try, instead of just admitting that he didn't watch the show and rushed the fucking video and just somehow didn't pay attention? No, he tries to justify this by going over Japanese age of consent laws.
Before any of you find this incredibly creepy, let me make one thing perfectly clear. The age of consent in many parts of Japan is, in fact, 13 years old. Now you may find it incredibly creepy. And yes, there's a lot of fine print to that law that evens it out a bit, but there's just as much fine print that evens it back into kinky territory again. For example, sex between 13 to 17-year-olds can only be done with other 13 to 17-year-olds.
That's good.
However, that's only sex. Groping, handjobs, blowjobs, and whatever else your preferred imagination can come up with is all perfectly legal.
That's bad.
However, they have cracked down on human trafficking, forced prostitution, and other illegal acts endangering people in that age range.
That's good.
But that doesn't stop people from creating kinky establishments like the Sexual Harassment Corporation, where you pay to molest girls in school and business sets and is totally 100% legal.
Can I go now?
I thought this was a fucking Sailor Moon review. Why are we talking about Japanese age of consent laws? Look, the thumbnail literally says age of consent on it. Oh, it's not my fault that Japan having different ages of consent. It's the fault of the show. Do you not take the American laws of consent either? Like, he doesn't acknowledge any of that. Yeah, you live in fucking Chicago. Like, I don't want to learn about sex from this guy. I don't want to learn about movies from this guy, let alone sex.
I am Sailor Moon, champion of justice, and on behalf of the moon, I will punish you.
Oh my god, this is awful.
Turn that back on.
Who said that?
I did.
Penis?
Yeah.
You can talk?
All penises talk around this age. It's the greatest secret no woman knows about, but wouldn't be the least bit shocked to discover.
Well, despite what a terrifying discovery this is, I'm still not gonna watch this show.
It doesn't matter what you think. From now on, I'll be calling all the shots. You're gonna see everything in a whole new light.
What are you talking about?
Look at that show again. Looks damn good now, doesn't it?
Wow. There's more to this show than I thought.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm a mentally capable male. I won't let my penis call all my decisions for me.
Turn that back on, or I'll shoot where the sun always shines.
No, I won't.
And like, what was the actors meeting for this? Like, okay, Malcolm, you're gonna play my cock. Oh, no, my cock is talking because I'm ripping off South Park and I'm horny over a minor. But that's okay, I'm a minor in the scene as well. There is no way they would have gotten away with that in the 90s. They wouldn't get away with that now. Like, you're putting fucking porn in a kid's show. No one would get away with that. So is Nostalgia Critic worth the hate? Yeah, absolutely. It is shockingly low in redeeming qualities, and it sucks. The end.
Take Las Palmas to Colorado. Take Colorado down to Pico. And that's how you get to Llama School. You go to Pico. You take Pico to Colorado. Take Colorado to Las Palmas.